Yeah, good morning. So, we always hear that saying, every vote counts. That really goes to show in this story because there's a very small Native American community south of the valley where there is just a handful of voters. And so, unlike a place like here in the West Valley, folks show their ID, they go in, they get their ballot printed. It's a very easy process. For this small community, the county goes to great lengths to make sure that everyone can cast their ballot. This tiny village in the Tohono O'odham community is far off the beaten path. With just a few dirt roads, the Kaka community has several dozen homes and maybe 200 people who live here. With no stores, no cell reception, and one church with no formal services, it's the people who make it. Translated into English, Kaka means open space. So how big is the village or the community? Where all does it stretch?
Well, it stretches from the west end, all clear across to the east.
Ryder Pallone is part of the Kaka community that was settled in the early 1930s. Today, there's just a handful of homes and residents. This is one of the most remote polling places in Arizona and the smallest in Maricopa County. The community has just more than 40 registered voters.
So I believe within the last, I want to say 8 to 12 years that we really pushed our people here in the community of Kaka to start voting.
Pallone says the community has long understood the importance of voting in tribal elections, but convincing them that their vote also mattered in state and federal elections was more of a challenge. Not only did he and other members have to educate, they needed to make sure everyone was registered to vote as well.
It was kind of hard to really have them understand that. Only based upon because lack of why does my vote count now?
To make sure the small community has a voice, Maricopa County makes a concerted effort to bring in satellites, internet, and the voting equipment to this one-room community center. It's here where maybe several dozen people will vote on Election Day. Alvin Manuel is one of the volunteer poll workers. How does it personally feel for you to be volunteering and to be a part of that process?
How does it feel?
Yeah.
It feels great. I mean, at least like I'm doing something positive, and I just enjoy it.
Just like everywhere else, polls in the Kaka community open at 6 in the morning on Election Day. There might be fewer people than most polling locations, but this community knows their vote matters just as much.
If you're sitting there and try to figure, well, this doesn't matter. It does matter to vote. Why? Because some of the benefits or some of the things that make you an existent as far as human is concerned, you better go out there and vote.
So I did talk with the county, and they made that about an hour and a half, 2-hour trip to the community, tested all of that equipment, and it is good to go this morning. Allison and Emily.